Think a 61 megapixel camera is only for photos. Think again. This camera can change everything you know about photography and video. But here's the question everyone's asking in 2026. Is it really worth it? Or is it just hype? A 61MP sticker slapped on a camera that most people will never fully use? Today, we're going to break it all down, the good, the bad, and the things no one else is really telling you about this camera. By the end of this video, you'll know whether the Sony A7R V is a true beast or just a very expensive gadget that sounds cooler than it actually is. And before we dive in, I have to warn you, this is not a shallow review. We're going deep. So if you've ever considered buying a Sony A7R V, or even wondered if you're wasting your money on gear hype, stay with me until the very end. I promise you won't regret it. Let's start with first impressions. The moment you unbox the A7R V, the attention to detail is obvious. The build quality, the weight, the ergonomics, Sony has nailed it. It feels solid, premium, almost like you're holding a tool that was made to last decades. Now, I know some people will say, it's just a camera, why care about the feel? But trust me, when you spend thousands on a piece of equipment, how it feels in your hands affects your experience every single day. And for photographers or videographers who shoot for hours, this matters a lot. And then, there's the display. Sony has gone beyond just putting a high-resolution screen. It's bright, sharp, and gives you a preview of your shot in a way that feels almost like looking at the final print. I honestly didn't expect this level of clarity, especially in bright daylight conditions. Okay, now let's talk about the elephant in the room, 61 megapixels. That's insane. To put it in perspective, most professional cameras hover around 24 to 45 megapixels. The A7R V basically doubles that. What does this mean for you? Absolute detail. Landscapes, product photography, studio portraits, the detail you get is staggering. You can crop a 100% section of your image and still see fine textures that would normally disappear. But here's the catch. Files are huge. We're talking 100 to 200 megabytes per raw image depending on settings. That's not just storage you need to worry about, that's editing power, workflow, and even backup strategies. If you're someone who shoots thousands of images for a project, suddenly you're dealing with terabytes of data faster than you thought possible. And video, oh boy. 8K capability, slow motion, and cinematic quality. But let's be real. Most people don't even have computers that can handle 8K editing smoothly. So, while the sensor is technically a beast, the reality is that for many users, it might be overkill. One of the things that really sets the A7R V apart is its autofocus. Sony has integrated AI tracking that almost feels like magic. It recognizes subjects, humans, animals, even moving vehicles, and keeps them perfectly in focus no matter what. I tried shooting in a chaotic environment, kids running around, a dog jumping, and the camera didn't miss a beat. Every shot I looked at later was tack sharp. Now, you might be thinking, do I need this? Honestly, if you're shooting sports, wildlife, or fast-paced events, yes. But if you're mostly doing studio work or landscapes, this level of autofocus sophistication is nice to have, but not a necessity. Let's talk about what you're really paying for: image quality. The dynamic range on this camera is insane. Shadows retain texture, highlights don't blow out easily, and color reproduction is vibrant yet accurate. I took some shots in extreme lighting conditions, bright sunlight, harsh shadows, even mixed indoor lighting, and the results were phenomenal. The level of control you have in post-processing is remarkable because the camera captures so much detail. But again, this is where the debate starts. Are you really going to need this much detail in your everyday shoots? For professionals selling prints or doing high-end commercial work, absolutely. For hobbyists, maybe not. Sony has improved the handling drastically compared to previous models. Buttons are intuitive, dials feel premium, and the grip is comfortable even during long shoots. A small but notable feature. The menu system has been tweaked for faster access to essential settings. You'll spend less time navigating menus and more time capturing shots. For photographers who value speed and efficiency, this might actually save hours of frustration in the long run. Now, let's be honest, the price is high. We're talking thousands of dollars here. And while the technology is incredible, you have to ask yourself, do you actually need this? There's a tendency in the photography community to chase the latest, greatest specs, but sometimes, a slightly older model or a mid-range camera can deliver almost as good results for a fraction of the price. So before you decide to invest, think about your workflow, your projects, and how much of the 6.1MP and AI features you'll actually use. This is where most people make mistakes, buying because it's the latest hype rather than because it fits their needs. Let's compare the A7R V with some alternatives. Canon, Nikon, and even some newer mirrorless cameras are pushing their own limits. Some might offer slightly low megapixels, but better ergonomics, faster editing workflow, or a lower price point. The Sony A7R V wins on sheer tech and innovation, but you have to weigh whether these wins actually matter to you. That's the key takeaway. A camera is only as good as how well it serves your specific needs. So, here's my honest verdict. The Sony A7R V is a 6.1MP beast. It's powerful, smart, and capable of jaw-dropping results. But for most people in 2026, it's overkill. Only professionals, serious photographers, or filmmakers who will fully utilize its features should consider it. If you're a casual shooter or hobbyist, there are other options that give you almost as much for less money, less storage headaches, and easier workflow. And remember, the hype around megapixels doesn't always equal better results for everyone. Think about what you need, not just what everyone else says. So, what do you think? Is the Sony A7R V worth it in 2026? Or is it just a shiny, overhyped gadget? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into 2026's best tech.